What's going down, Niner Faithful? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. Not only I'll touch up on Jerick McKinnon, but John Lynch, 49ers general manager, did a podcast with Ian Rappaport, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, and they were talking about Jimmy Garoppolo recovering and and what state is he at in the rehab and things like that. Well, John Lynch said that Jimmy Garoppolo is expected to be ready to play and ready to be, cleared by OTAs in the summer, which is a very big plus because it's always good knowing that, your quarterback who tore his ACL, a major injury like that, is coming back and is doing well. Not only that, but the way Jimmy Garoppolo is recovering from this injury, he's ahead of what his expected due date to be cleared is. So that's a very big plus. Not only him, but Jerick McKinnon, obviously, he tore his ACL last all season. And he didn't even get to play a snap in a 49ers uniform. He didn't even get to play a preseason game. But actually, did Jerick McKinnon... I think he did play a preseason snap. I may have been the first Niners game. I don't know. Anyways, all I do know that he tore his ACL before he even was able to start a regular season game. So that's good news for Jerick and Jimmy Garoppolo. But Jimmy Garoppolo is expected to be ready to go and cleared by OTAs in the offseason. So that's always obviously good. And another thing about the Jimmy Garoppolo injury is that the positive is kind of paying off at the moment because obviously the Niners season's over. Basically, the NFL season's over. Obviously, we have the Super Bowl. But other than the Super Bowl, it's basically, the season is basically over. There's only two teams remaining. And obviously, they're going to play that out, Patriots and Rams in the Super Bowl. But what I'm trying to get at, as in, the positive is actually playing off because the only positive, is paying off, the only positive about Jimmy Garoppolo's injury was that it happened so soon. And the reason, obviously it's not a positive to tear your ACL. I'm just saying the timing was kind of a positive in a way because Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be obviously ready to go by week 1 of next season. Now, granted, if he would have tore his ACL maybe week 17 of the regular season, we would have probably been in a little trouble considering that, Jimmy Garoppolo would probably not be ready to go by week 1 of this upcoming season. So the thing is, like I said, it's never good to tear your ACL, but that was the only positive we could take, Niners fans and the organization could take out of Garoppolo's injury, was that he was going to be ready to go by this offseason. So I'll just come on here and give you guys a quick update on the news that broke today on Jimmy Garoppolo. But Jerick McKinnon, John Lynch said that Jerick McKinnon and Jimmy Garoppolo are kind of competing in their rehab, to see who can show the most progress and can see who can show the most growth in their rehab and in their recovery, which it's always good, to have a person out with you that has the same injury, that kind of went through the same exact thing, to always compete. And Jimmy Garoppolo and Jerick McKinnon have been going through this process since both of them went down with ACL injuries. So it's always good to have, competition in rehab, but my biggest fear is for Jimmy Garoppolo to come back too soon and not necessarily he tears his ACL again, but he's not the same. I want Jimmy Garoppolo to obviously to come back. I mean, all of us want Jimmy Garoppolo to come back when he's fully, healed, when he's fully recovered from this ACL. But I just don't want to see Garoppolo rush this and, him not being the same quarterback as we've seen. But I think he'll be fine. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo was walking by the end of this season. And like I said, he tore his ACL in week 3 against the Chiefs. And he was able to recover and start walking by the end of this season. And that's a very big plus. From that right there, you can already tell that this rehab process is going perfect for Garoppolo. But being able to walk by the end of the season when you tore your ACL week 3 is a very big plus. So, but Jimmy Garoppolo's doing well. He's actually, like I said, he's ahead of his game. He's ahead of the rehab process. and that's always good. I heard John Lynch also said that there was a report that came out, and it was on a lot of Niners fan pages and stuff, that Garoppolo was actually throwing balls today to Jerick McKinnon. And, Jerick McKinnon was running routes and whatnot. But big plus. Big news for Niners fans. But the thing is about Jerick McKinnon is we've seen what Garoppolo can do in a Niners uniform. I mean, he's a stud quarterback. But we haven't even seen what Jerick McKinnon really can do. And the fact is that this whole process has kind of had Niners fans in a way excited for next season, just for the simple fact that, we have a player that we haven't even used at all in a real game yet in Jerick McKinnon. And considering that a lot of people think, and I truly do think too, that he'll be better than he was in Minnesota, considering that Kyle Shanahan's offense is insanely good. So we haven't even really seen what Jerick McKinnon can do in Shanahan's system. So that's going to always be exciting to kind of wait on. This process has been long though. I mean, this has been a long season. It's been one of the most terrible seasons I've witnessed being a Niners fan, especially when you have pieces that can win you games, and then those pieces just kind of fall like dominoes. With Jerick McKinnon going down, then obviously the franchise going down, and Jimmy Garoppolo. But at the end of the day, we'll see what can happen. But I thought I'd come on here and I know you guys probably know, but any Niners fan or any Niners related thing that's broken down and it's like newsworthy, I'll always cover on this channel. So I'm sure you guys have heard the news, but yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo's doing very well, and so yeah, that's big news, and that's very good news as well. So with that being said, hopefully Jimmy Garoppolo, like I said, he's expected to be ready to go by OTAs, but hopefully that expected turns into a done deal to where he is ready to go. But we'll see what happens. But with that being said, it's Niner J49, and as always, go Niners.